Australia is my home. It is a big, natural, amazing country. Its people are proud and different. From Aborigines who have walked and cared for this land, to those that have made this their home. We have worked hard to build a way of life. We share a love and spirit. And always have a go. We have stood together to protect each other and are known for our courage, our open and big hearts. In 1905, a small group of postal workers decided to open a fund to provide for their family's future. On the 1st of September, in the old post office building in Elizabeth Street, Melbourne, 37 workers decided to put sixpence in a jar once every pay. This is the story and the journey of sixpence.
That's got a lot of tradition. It goes back obviously 100 years. It's unchanged in a lot of ways. There's a lot of great things about it that I like, and that's the fact that it hasn't changed in its level of service and its care for the actual membership, and it's what it's really on about, and that is helping members at a time when, well, shall we say with a monetary benefit, helping them at a time when they're most vulnerable.
If you were starting a society up now to help people, you wouldn't start a benevolent society like we had. The idea of the funeral benefits was a great idea in 1905. This is prior to most super funds.
It needs to be acknowledged that the boards over the years and the members over the years have kept the Vic and Tas going for 100 years. Because there aren't too many, I wouldn't have thought, that started 100 years ago doing what they did, putting the sixpence into the jar for the funeral benefit and or helping the family.
How the founders managed it, to me it was absolutely amazing that this thing could be launched and sprung into life in 1905. And here we are, this is only about 4 years or 4 and a bit years after Federation.
Well, in those early days, I don't recall that there were any such things as a funeral bond or facilities available to help people when they died, burying them, for example. And to my knowledge, it was the only organisation that existed even outside the public service. It was the only one in the public service, and it was confined to Victoria and Tasmania because those of my vintage still call it Vic and Tas.
The fund was to become known as the Victorian and Tasmanian Public Service Provident Fund. From the end of the first year of operation to 1920, membership grew from 97 to 433. Membership doubled during the hard times of war from 1914 to 1918 as the breadwinner sought security for their families. The postal network spread the word, and the society became one of the larger of the many funeral funds that were a feature of the 1920s and the 1930s in Australia. The death of a wage earner could mean immediate poverty for the dependents. In tough times, the society provided a very basic social service.
The staff are a real good group. I think in any organisation of our size, you need to have good people.
What I really like about the society above all is that the actual staff have almost a personal relationship with every client.
Because you talk to so many people, you just don't realise it. But when he said, hey, you've been helping me out for 2 years in dribs and drabs, and I just want to say thanks. And, you know, I've come good now, and it does. You sort of think, well, yeah, it was worthwhile helping that chap out.
It's certainly the best job I'd had, and the job where I got certainly the most satisfaction out of it. The staff were, you know, generally speaking, pretty much interested as well, and they were pleased to get new members, and we'd count the new members' applications when they came in the morning in the mail, and oh gee, we got 15 today, you know, this sort of thing, and it worked out pretty well.
Harold Barton was in those days he was called the Secretary Treasurer, had the grand title of Secretary Treasurer. He was in that position for many years whilst on the board, and for the first couple of years when I was in my presidency. Then Harold took retirement. Very loyal person towards the society, always had the society's interests and members at heart.
I think Harold was a great influence on me when he first got me in, and I mean I was really green. I had no idea what being on the board was, what it entailed and what it involved, and I had to honestly say at the time that I didn't think I was very qualified. I was just a public servant, but I think he understood that the importance of having people who represent the client base, not just necessarily accountants, lawyers, etc., but just people who represent the ordinary member. And I learned a hell of a lot of Harold in that time.
I joined in the time of Harold Barton, and under Harold's stewardship the society grew, and in turbulent times Harold was able, and his staff were able to maintain stability.
Oh, the staff are amazing. You know, you don't have to worry about retention in a place like APS Benefits. You know, the staff love coming to work as much as you can. And they, you know, they find it rewarding. They get a lot of satisfaction, and I pointed out to them, you know, that you know, the customer service and the way members interact with our staff is just, it's like you know, it's not quite a family relationship, but it's certainly better than you know, most customer service relationships. It's a real, you know, a very strong bond that we have with our members.
There was a fellow in there, Harry Fox, many years ago, a supervisor, and he was, you know, fairly, he was instrumental in recruiting a lot of telegraphists, I think.
The significance of Harry Fox could not be understated. If there was a heart and soul of the society, Mr. Harry Fox would represent it. The minutes of 1935 bore testament of Harry's dealings with the members. Harry, after personally seeing a bereaved dependent upon learning of a death of a member, would then travel to another troubled member, and then another, and then another. Indeed, the Society's files bear silent witness of a truly remarkable person.
In 1938, we started providing small unsecured loans to our members, and they were used for a myriad of purposes. It was as a result of the Prime Minister's Department, the minutes record this, that the Prime Minister's Department actually wrote to us and a number of other benevolent societies or provident societies that were common at the time, and asked us to provide small unsecured personal loans.
And the concept, if you think about it, makes a lot of sense for members in terms of being able to access their own funds at a rate that's always better than market. And you know, back then we weren't talking big dollars, but we were talking enough to buy a new car, assist with the home reno, school fees, you know, the day-to-day life.
Value for money was always an important, strategic requirement for any person that was a member of the public service, and it was one of those organisations that provided low interest rates on loans, and that was what really drove the organisation, and it probably still does today, I would imagine.